Well, you find a lot in the house of David that everybody is oblivious to in the Word that talks about the house of David. Here we have some of the last words of David. In other words, David's will. What do you talk about when you're on your deathbed? Isn't that when everybody gathers their family around them? It says their last words for their family. That's what David did here. And he says what Yahweh told him. The just one is the ruler among men, who rules in the fear of Elohim as the light of the morning when the sun rises. A morning without clouds, when the tender grass springs out of the earth through sunshine after rain. He's talking about the perennial house of David coming up like the sun over and over again in different generations, being there as a refreshment to Israel. And that he's talking about his house here is very clear because it goes on, truly is not my house so with Elohim. He has made an everlasting covenant with me, ordered in all things and secured for all my salvation and all my desire. Will he not indeed make it grow? I don't think anybody can find fault with this without saying that Messiah does not keep his promises. And we know he does keep his promises. As a matter of fact, look what he said in the Psalms. I will not break my covenant nor alter what my lips have uttered. Once have I sworn by my holiness, I will not lie to David. His seed will endure forever, his throne like the sun before me. Do you see this recurring theme of the sun? Just like the sun comes up and rises, so Yahweh continues to lift up leaders from the house of David for the sake of his people Israel. That's the covenant. And here he tells us he's not going to lie about this. This is what he has said. This is what he will do forever. That's what the Son is all about here. Forever. He says, if my covenant of day and night fails, if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I also cast away the seed of Jacob and of David my servant, so that I will not take of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now notice it's plural here. It's rulers. It's the seed of David, and rulers, leaders for Israel. Yahweh says, you know what? That's not going to stop. And not only that, I'm not going to cast away the seed of Jacob. Yeah, they're going into exile, but they're still my people. And look at what he says here at the end of this. I will cause their captivity to return and will have mercy on them. Who is that talking to? If you are of the remnant, you know who that's talking to. That's talking to the remnant of Israel in the last days who have been scattered around the earth. And the promise is Davidic leaders for his people. That's the promise here in Jeremiah 33. In the book of Malachi, it says this, behold, I send my messenger. And in the Greek Septuagint, it's the Greek word angelos. which is often translated as angel, means the same thing, angel or messenger. And he will prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant whom you desire, behold, he comes, says Yahweh of hosts. For I, Yahweh, don't change. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Do you understand what that means? You know, things change in how people view the scriptures. Religion changes. Nothing changes for him. The promises he made to Jacob, the promises he made to David, those are just as solid today as they ever were. This goes through here. It says, to you who fear my name, it's talking to the remnant now in the last days. Look it up, you'll see. It says, to you who fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in its wings. Son, S-U-N. The Son of Righteousness. Righteousness here, it's the same word as just. In other words, in the last words of David, what did he say? The just one will rule, will arise like the sun to bless Israel. That's who this messenger of the covenant is. Someone of the house of David, raised up like the sun coming up to bless Israel. Then it goes on here and says to the remnant, you will go out and leap like calves of the stall. Go out from where? Go out from all the Gentile nations. Now, a lot of people might think that this messenger that would come must be a traditional Jew from Israel. So this is what they think. When they think about this guy, they think about a guy with a talit and with all the trappings of a traditional rabbinical Jew. But really, is that what you would expect with the remnant of Israel scattered around the world? Wouldn't you expect it to be one of those people that has shared that same experience of being assimilated into the nations and rising up like the sun? This has to be our common experience as the remnant of coming to this realization and actualization of our real identity. It has to be true of all of us. It has to be true of leaders as well as those who are following that lead. Here's something that you've probably heard before.
Go, my son, take with you all my power, dominion, and authority. Wreak havoc on the enemy, make many more like you. Put this in your memory that in big, bold words that an enemy came to destroy you. Now it's time to wreak havoc on his kingdom. You are commanding my army. You are my commander. The next word he gave me was authority. Governance with power. You shall lead many people with this authority, for there is a position. I am bringing my children back to my land where all authority is given. No one earns this unless they earn this through my will. Your authority is to lead them back, and you will. What I see is almost like a seal in a book or a stamp that you've given authority to open up and grant or sealed up. It's pure authority. He's giving you that, and your name's written in a book, and this is your position.
That prophetic word was given to me after a property was burned up here. And we returned here to start up once again the mission of the house of David on this property here among the exiles here in Texas. You know, in the first century, the believers, the Talmudim, they saw prophecy being fulfilled. When you read through the book of Matthew, for example, the book of Luke, book of John, the book of Acts, you hear, thus such and such a prophecy is fulfilled. Thus these words were fulfilled. It was happening all the time, and those believers believed it. Here, I have just shared with you something that fulfills Bible prophecy. A word from Yahweh that actually says, I'm doing what I said, and I'm raising you up to do it. So, you know what? I'm not kidding about this. This is not some kind of trip. It's not about me. It's about what Yahweh is doing in these last days. It's about what's in His Word. It's about fulfilling the things He has said. That's what it's about. And when you listen to that word, it's telling you, I have been raised up to be His messenger. I have to come to grips with that, friends, and I have. And now you're going to have to come to grips with it. Here's from the book of Revelation. I saw another angel ascend from the sunrise. Now that's weird, because you know what? Angels descend from heaven. They don't ascend from the sunrise. Realize, though, that this is the same word that's in the Septuagint Bible that they were using then. Angelos. The word another actually means different. A different angel. A different messenger. Not the kind that are up in heaven. The kind that ascend, not descend. I saw another angel ascend from the sunrise. What is that talking about? If you know the scriptures, you know that's talking about someone from the house of David. A messenger from the house of David. Where are you going to read about that? How about the book of Malachi? Having the seal of the living God. You heard that prophecy that was uttered to me? A seal. He cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, don't harm the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, until we have sealed the bondservants of our God on their foreheads. The great tribulation is all ready to happen, but it's not happening. Why? It's because the bondservants of our God need to be sealed. These are the men who are to stand up with the house of David to be leaders of restored Israel so that we can come together in holy array and fulfill all the things that Yahweh has said. Look, it goes on. It says, I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 sealed out of every tribe of the sons of Israel. This is the anointed remnant in the last days. And Yahweh is fulfilling His word. The everlasting covenant of the house of David requires all righteous descendants of David to do all in their power to build up David's house in their generation, to promote its interest in the kingdom, and to do so for the glory of the great name and the blessing of Yahweh. That is what this ministry is about. That's what we are trying our very hardest in faith to accomplish for Yahweh and for you, His people.